From Las Vegas, it's Let's Talk News Now with Rick and Ella.
And we are back with Let's Talk News Now. Of course, I'm here with Ella Roberts, Valerie Amber, and Kim Smith, and we have in the hot seat with us the man we've been actually talking about. Well, here's the thing is, we were kind of talking about him yesterday, and we actually have the man himself, and that is
You were
Nick
talking
Fortuna.
about me yesterday?
Yeah.
Well, we had a couple of your cohorts with us yesterday. Okay, you'll probably recognize, of course, Susanna Gabbiano.
Oh.
Okay, and Mariano Longo.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That gentleman.
Yeah, the gentleman. You've been kind of hanging with him a little bit lately.
Yeah, he's been almost a permanent fixture in my life for the last month or so. But he's very welcome.
There you go. I mean,
Yeah.
okay. And of course, Nick, you're with the Buckinghams
Yes,
inside,
I
and and have been for how long in the business?
Well, the Buckinghams started in 1965, so that gives you a general idea. Pretty close to 45 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, I never admit to things like that.
Well,
Yeah, it's all, but it's your level of stature that is
We weren't
it's like
even
really.
thought of.
well, I started when I was like, we put the band together, and I was like 7 at the time. So yeah.
There you go.
Amazing. Are you serious? 7
You played
Sorry.
You are blonde.
I absolutely
No, that's
love
amazing at that age to put a band together.
Right.
You're serious?
Oh my God. Okay.
Wait, you actually thought that the band was together when I was 7?
No, I actually know kids that do like to be in bands at age 7 and put a little band together, and they stay together for a few years.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then
You know,
No, but you-
playing milk cartons and stuff.
Right.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
You've played in some amazing shows, though. I mean, I read on your website, Ed Sullivan show.
I like this.
I know. I'm trying to save it.
You are. She's like most of my dates. Okay.
I try.
So found tonight.
You are perfect. Yeah.
I love it. All right, so I'm so excited because you've been on so many shows. You've been on the Ed Sullivan
Yes.
show, and what are some of the other shows?
Jerry Lewis show, Joey Bishop, the Tonight Show a couple times, and American Bandstand a bunch of times.
And then not too long ago, kind of a small little house in Washington.
yeah,
played there?
we did the inauguration for the president,
It's amazing.
which was a huge honor for the band. You know, I'm not a person that likes to talk about politics, but it was a huge honor for the band.
Well, of
Was
course.
it amazing to play there?
Oh,
Right.
of course. You know, you're playing in front of the dignitaries of the free nation. You know, so
I even sat in London watching it, so I'm like, yeah.
That
You
was
were there.
Yeah, I was in London, yeah.
were you rubbing elbows with the Queen?
Yeah, with her gate, men.
Or you were out in front of the Buckingham
Right.
Palace? That was we actually built that building.
I thought so, yeah. You made
And
it
the fountain in
bomb-proof.
Chicago. you know.
Right.
And from the original Buckinghams.
Yes.
You are obviously one of the original members.
Yes, I am.
How many original members do we still have playing?
Myself and Carl Gimarisi are the sole survivors of the Buckinghams, and we've been together doing this once again since 1980. Band had a 10-year hiatus. You know, the band was broken up. I was doing the R&B circuit, played behind a lot of R&B people. Carl was doing a semi-folk rock thing with another member in the band, and that was short-lived, a couple years. And
Right.
So, in 1980, we put the band back together again for a big thing that was going on in Chicago at the time called Chicago Fest, and they expected 15,000 people at our stage for. We were only supposed to put this together for 3 days. It was supposed to be a 3-day thing, and then that would have been it. And we had 15,000 inside and 20,000 outside trying to get in. So,
Happy you were back together.
well, it was
Fans.
the a launching pad for the band to get reunited again and start touring. So we've been doing it strong since 1980.
That's great.
That was a good friends right there. You need to really get along to be working so closely for so long.
Well, we were, it's one of the things too, is that not just your band, but then a lot of times bands from a specific era will get back together again.
Well, we do this tour called the Happy Together Tour, which we're leaving actually June the 7th. It's going to be a 54-day date tour, 2.5 months.
Wow.
With Turtles and Gary Puckett, the Grassroots, and who else do we have? Mickey Dolan's, and it's been going on for the last 3 years again. You know, and the tour gets bigger and bigger every year. So,
and we'll talk a little bit about your audience and so on right after the break. And I also want to get a chance to talk about with you what it is to get together with some of these bands that you have been around for literally 4.5 decades. It's got to be hugely interesting.
Yeah, it's an experience.
And we're going to get the dirt. We're going to do the business. All right,
we have to talk about our symphony gigs too.
Oh, of course, because that's what we're all here for. We'll be back right after this. You folks, don't go away. We're going to be talking some more with this guy.